Monday, Tuesday next week. Ralph Sanji, WGSO. Calling all collectors. It's time for Louisiana Card Con, October 4th and 5th at the Castine Center, Mandeville. Sports cards, Pokemon, comics, autographed guests, rare collectibles, and over 250 tables under one roof. Bring the whole family for 2 days of trading, shopping, and fun. Don't miss Louisiana Card Con, October 4th and 5th at the Castine Center, Mandeville. More details at louisianacardcon.com.
The views and opinions expressed during this show are those of the host and guests only. In no way do they represent the views, positions, or opinions expressed or implied of WGSO 990 AM or North Shore Radio Incorporated.
With two-lane doctors located at East Jefferson Hospital. And about 2 weeks ago, they removed the cataracts in my left eye. And my gosh, it was amazing. And I only had one eye because the worst cataracts were in the right eye, but my left eye was my dominant eye. They did that first. And yesterday, they removed the cataracts from my right eye, and now I have two eyes that I see with. It is truly amazing. Thank you, Dr. Srinivasan. You are outstanding. Your staff is outstanding. I am so happy. I rode my bike here, came from St. Park Avenue all the way downtown on Canal Street, and so many stores exist that I didn't know. Just that in the past, they were just buildings. I knew there was a street, I knew there was a sidewalk, I knew there were cars, but now being able to see is tremendous. Anyway, that's a personal shout out today, and outstanding work done by everybody. They were on time, they were professional, they had a good sense of humor. So if you have a chance, if you need some help, contact two-lane doctors at East Jefferson Hospital. Okay. Today's show, several topics. Boy, there's so much going on. The potential, oh my gosh, we could have by October 1st a government shutdown. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the program. We're also going to talk about something one of our callers, Rusty, had called last Friday, and he, like many other people, including yours truly, are frustrated many times. We feel like we don't have any bargaining or negotiating power with the companies that we hire, whether they be banks or whether they be communication companies, when they have call centers that are located in foreign countries. And while there may be some practical value to the company to have that, they pay them less and so forth, there are some problems. primarily communication problems. We don't understand often what they say. And so Rusty called and asked what my opinions were. And I promised I would do a deep dive on it this week, and I did. And I found some potentially great news for him on that aspect. And we'll talk about that later in the show. If Rusty calls, we'll try to get to him and explain to him what I have located, which is designed to help the majority of the problem, as Rusty explained it. And some of my research shows that there's some other problems even more significant than what we had thought about, and they are being addressed, and I'll explain that as we get to that aspect of the show. One other thing, and this is just this morning, I heard Bibi Netanyahu's speech. As you know, he is the premier of Israel, prime minister. And I heard him speak before the UN. And it's very significant. And if you have any idea of geography in the Middle East and how significant Israel is to the Middle East, and how the trending action since Trump's first term, putting the Abraham Accords together, how things were going in a very, very good direction until October 7th, 2023. We had multiple countries in the Middle East helping to tone down the rhetoric, the violence, etc., against both Christians and Israelis. But on October 7th, 2023, we had a horrible attack, and I'm not going to spend this time talking about the attack. What I am going to talk about, though, is what the consequences have been. What the consequences of that have been. Okay, and I want to get to one of our callers, and we'll get to him in a minute. Rusty, are you there, buddy?
Jack?
Yes, are you there?
Oh, I'm listening to the radio. You're 2-3 seconds behind.
Well, that's so you can't use those nasty swear words you like to use all the time.
Oh man,
You can't do it today. Well,
I
I wanted to report to you that I did my research assignment, did my homework, and I found out something that will really, I think, if it passes, it's tremendous.
okay.
And it is a law that was proposed in the U.S. Senate on August 15th, 2025, about 6 weeks ago, by Ruben Gallego, who is a Democrat from Arizona, and Jim Justice, who is a Republican from West Virginia. Two senators. Okay, so it's a bipartisan bill. It looks like it has a lot of support.
Wow.
But you can imagine, when I tell you what's in the bill, the pushback that it's going to get. But it's as if they sat down and had a cup of coffee with you, listened to what you had to say, and said, we're going to try to fix it. So I'm going to give you just the brief skinny on it. You can read the bill on your own later. It's called Keep Call Centers in America Act of 2025. So the definition by call center, they're talking about what you were concerned about, what all of us have recognized and identified. The call center's customer service or tech support. When you're dealing with a piece of equipment you have, or a bank, and how maybe your funds are being moved around and you see errors and you don't know what's going on, and you try to call the bank's customer service, and suddenly you're on the line with someone whose English is limited, or at least to you, you think it's limited. You don't understand what they're saying, and you're kind of in a tough position. It's almost like you're not getting any help. All right. The research I did certainly has established that since 2010, 2011, some of the largest banks telecommunication companies and others have decided to eliminate their U.S. call centers. They just got rid of them. And this included employees. Now, another source of information on the same topic is, I was unaware of this, the CWA. Have you ever heard of the CWA?
No.
I hadn't either. The CWA is the Communication Workers of America. And it's a union. And they were instrumental in educating these two senators and many other people as to who these folks are that have not only gotten federal contracts, but this includes Chase Bank, Capital One, Wells Fargo, huge entities that get money and got bailed out after the 2008 issues, at federal money bailout. And then they decided, well, we don't need U.S. employees. We'll hire people overseas. So I'll be back in about a minute and a half. Can you hold on to the break?
Absolutely.
All right, we're back in a moment with the Jack Clegg Show.
Orleans Plan for Retirement Online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoy the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.com.
Hi, this is Susan Burdick of bringing you a new show, Health Connections, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. when we explore health from doctors, researchers, scientists, naturopaths, pharmacists, authors, fitness, and more. You'll be able to call in and ask your own 9:90 a.m. with Health Connections.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, in our 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Bingo every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at Mahoney's Po' Boys in New Orleans.
Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
If you relate to these clips playing in the background, there you go. You will enjoy Everything Old is New Again right here on WGSO. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Join us for the fun every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on WGSO.
Hey guys, this is Lisa Leonardi, the host of the new show Live with Lisa Unscripted, every Monday at 4 p.m. drive time, here on WGSF.
Hey Nene, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
As usual, we'll be discussing and debating the hot topics.
And taking your phone calls.
You can find out who's right. Of course, that's me.
No, wait, Jeff, I'm never wrong. Remember, happy wife, happy life.
So we'll have a lot to talk about on He Said, She Said.
Listen to the Crew of Crew Air Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Broadcasting from deep within the Louisiana Purchase, beneath spacious skies, overlooking the fruited plain, and smack dab in the land of the free. The American Ground Radio program with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr, where freedom grows. Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr here on WGSO 990 AM.
Chef Jamie Gwen here. Tune in for delicious conversation and let me feed your soul every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show with our special guest, Rusty, the call center killer of New Orleans. And we were talking, folks, about Rusty's critique last week and my research following that on how we often, many of us, are frustrated We don't get what we think we are deserving of, and that is good information, because corporations, banks, telecommunication companies have call centers, and that's for customer service, tech support, whatever it is. And they have found it economically pleasing for them. While it may be just pleasing to us, it's economically a boon for them, where they fire U.S. workers and hire foreign workers in foreign call centers. And sometimes they do it through third parties. I mean, you know how corporations can act, and they have a right to do so. And so I did some research at Rusty's request and found out that there's actually, and I'm going to give you the information so you can yourself, I'm not going to go through this whole thing on the show, but the name of the law that is being passed is Keep Call Centers in America Act of 2025. Okay? And if you want to read it the easiest, quickest way, go online. The National Law Review, September 26, 2025. That's today it came out, volume 15. So you can go online and read it. I don't think you have to join National Law Review. It is actually, the title is the Keep Call Centers in America Act of 2025, what financial services companies need to know. And it goes through the act and it talks about it. It was posted on Wednesday, August 13th, by Financial Services Perspectives. That's the authors that wrote that. Okay. What I think, the one area I'm going to talk about, which when I read it, I'm like, Rusty's going to love this. He's going to love this. It goes to the key provisions of the act and so forth. Right. Section 4. Mandatory customer service disclosures. 1 year after enactment of the act will require businesses engaged in customer service communications to disclose the physical location of their customer service agents at the start of each interaction. Okay, that's pretty clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to talk about call service in Mumbai or in Manila or wherever it happens to be. Okay. If the agent is outside the United States, the customer must be informed of their right to request an immediate transfer to a U.S.-based agent. That's pretty significant. Businesses that use, I think I like this a lot. Businesses that use artificial intelligence for customer service must also direct its use at the outset and offer a transfer to a human agent located domestically. So these guys who put this together have they put their minds to it. And at least at this particular aspect, this, we would hope, solves that particular problem. And if you don't do it, go on and read the act. If you don't do this, what will the government do to you? Well, you don't get any subsidies. You don't get any grants. You don't get any federal funding. You potentially lose any federal contracts you might have. And many of these big banks and big companies have those federal contracts. So I can't tell you how it's going. There's so many other things. I mean, we're going to talk about those later in the show, about potentially closing down the government on October 1st because the Democrats refused to vote on a continuing resolution that Speaker Johnson proposed, which I thought was pretty fair. But anyway, did I do okay?
Yeah. I have some
You don't sound too enthusiastic.
No, it's an improvement for sure.
Okay, good. We got that. All right. That's
I just wonder why these people they're going to be people who are afraid to say, I want to speak to an American person.
Well,
I don't want to speak to a foreigner. What did they call zero? I forget the name of fear of foreigners or
Oh, I know
whatever
what
it's
you're
called?
saying. Yeah, you could theoretically, yes, you could be considered someone who doesn't like foreigners. Okay, an isolationist or whatever, or a racist, whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the possibility. But these two senators, and I think most people who have had contact with some of these people, I've had contact with them, and I don't know whether you have, who actually do a good job. I have. In particular, I'm thinking of Verizon. I had a battle with them over something, and I was talking to a customer service person in Manila, a young lady there. She did a fabulous job. She was good. I'm not saying that an American couldn't do the same job. I'm not even going there, but that was adequate. It was work. But when it doesn't work, you want to have this possible option of saying, wait a minute, or even before they even answer the phone, you will be given the option. Say, we're connecting you with our office in Pakistan, and or would you like to hit 4 and get to an American? So in many cases, you won't even speak to anyone before you exercise that option.
Okay, I have a couple of thoughts here.
Go ahead.
One, is that going to be a long delay when you press number 4? Are you going to have to wait 10 minutes?
I don't know whether they're going to try to punish people if that's the suggestion. And I know where you're coming from, because there are some small-minded people, and they may not want to do what the law says you're supposed to do. I don't know the answer to that. I would think, and there are other aspects. I really highly recommend read the whole thing, and I don't want to go through all the possibilities right now today.
I know, and you don't. If you can bear with me here, can you tell me that site again?
Yes. Hold on. Let me get some on my computer right now. It is the National Law Review, September 26, 2025. That's today. You can go online and get that. The title is The title is, quote, "The Keep Call Centers in America Act of 2025, what financial services companies need to know."
Wow. That's a lot.
There you go. Well,
okay,
these
all
senators and representatives get paid by the word. I don't. All right, my friend. I hope it helps you out.
Well, hold on. Can I get you one more thought here?
After a break, we got to take a break. We'll be back in about a minute and a half. All right, we'll be back. Hold on. Ask after the break.
Friends and loved ones, then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion. Get ready, food lovers. MasterChef All-Stars Live is hitting the road, bringing your favorite chefs straight from the MasterChef kitchen to Mahalia Jackson Theater in New Orleans on October 16th at 7 p.m. This brand new, high-energy stage show delivers the ultimate MasterChef experience live, up close and personal. Witness epic head-to-head battles, thrilling challenges, and jaw-dropping culinary creations right before your eyes. Hear from your favorite all-stars on what it's like to cook in America's famous kitchen, and toughest judges, plus tips and tricks to take to your own home kitchen. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime night of food, fun, and fierce competition. Secure your 2-for-1 tickets now at MahaliaJacksonTheater.com and get ready to go on a MasterChef culinary journey through the senses and experience the excitement.
This is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Andrew Greenstein. Early voting starts tomorrow in the New Orleans mayoral election, and polls show Helena Moreno with a huge lead over the other two candidates, Royce Duplessis and Oliver Thomas. UNO political science professor Ed Shervanack says while Moreno was resonating with voters, Duplessis and Thomas are having a much more difficult time doing so.
Senator Duplessis is relatively new and hasn't really been able to introduce himself. Councilmember Thomas wants to bring back some of the things that have been done in the past.
T-minus 1 day before the big showdown between LSU and Ole Miss. LSU's offense looked much more comfortable last week against Southeastern Louisiana, scoring 8 touchdowns. LSU coach Brian Kelly says look for the Tigers to play with some tempo tomorrow.
I think some of the things that we saw were too much analysis of trying to be perfect on every play. Let's just roll with it. Know where your hot receivers are, flip the protection, but let's not get to the point where we're stalling the offense.
LRN.
Tiger fans, are you looking for the latest news on all things LSU? Then Tiger Rag Magazine is your go-to source. Whether you pick up the magazine or browse over to the website, Tiger Rag Magazine provides you with the most up-to-date information on all the sports, university, and recruiting news that matters to you. Find it at your local newsstand or online at tigerrag.com. Let's face it, we all know that the recruiting scene at LSU can get a little wild. Don't fret. Now more than ever, Tiger Rag Magazine is staying ahead of the game when it comes to name, image, likeness regulations. Thanks to our Tiger Rag Magazine experts and analysts, we can help you understand what it means to LSU and how you can stay informed on this rapidly changing landscape. Plus, our website makes it easy for fans to get their hands on all the information they need about LSU athletics. Get your subscriptions today. So if you're looking for in-depth coverage of everything LSU, look no further than Tiger Rag Magazine. Available on newsstands or online, tigerrag.com.
Hi, I'm Pat Spooner. One of the things I love about Louisiana is its beautiful natural landscapes and its unique scenery. Let's preserve them. Please don't trash Louisiana with propane cylinders that are no longer certified. Bring these cylinders to your propane dealer so that they may dispose of them safely. Be a saint, and let's keep Louisiana beautiful.
This safety message is brought to you by the Louisiana Liquefied Petroleum Gas Commission and the Louisiana Propane Industry.
Get ready, food lovers. MasterChef All-Stars Live is hitting the road, bringing your favorite chefs straight from the MasterChef kitchen to Mahalia Jackson Theater in New Orleans on October 16th at 7 p.m. This brand new high-energy stage show delivers the ultimate MasterChef experience live, up close and personal. Witness epic head-to-head battles, thrilling challenges, and jaw-dropping culinary creations right before your eyes. Hear from your favorite all-stars on what it's like to cook in America's famous kitchen and toughest judges, plus tips and tricks to take to your own home kitchen. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime night of food, fun, and fierce competition. Secure your 2-for-1 tickets now at MahaliaJacksonTheater.com and get ready to go on a MasterChef culinary journey through the senses and experience the excitement.
Big Easy Pet Shop and Rescue is a non-profit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marigny locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Dumaine Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show. This is WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com for the audio podcast and YouTube. We are streaming live. Boy, I feel so streamy. Okay. Rusty, are you still there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Listen, when you brought this topic up last week,
Uh-huh.
you were talking about something Donald Trump was doing to bring more foreigners into our workplaces.
Oh, the
And my-
H-1B visa plan. Yes.
And yes, and my concern here is not merely the fact, it's probably mainly the fact that I'm talking to foreigners, but why do we have to be diverting our time to non-Americans?
Well,
Why-
let me start off. We got the story a little bit off kilter. Here's what it was. All right. Immigration is a big issue right now. Okay, we've got a lot of people in the country illegally, and many of them, we fear, are taking U.S. jobs. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. Okay. Since Trump has gotten in, the AI explosion has occurred. Many people will say that had it not been for the investment in foreign money and U.S. money in AI, our economy wouldn't be as good as it is right now. Our economy is blowing and going, and primarily because it's got all this new money in it. Okay. So the AI people want to hire highly educated people in that area, in that technical area. Okay. So how do you get them in the country? The way we do that is through the H-1B visa program. And these are highly trained people that come in. They're not becoming citizens necessarily, but they're here primarily on working visas. Usually you have a 1, 2, 3, 4-year contract, whatever. It can be longer. They can ask for more. It doesn't stop it, but that's generally what it's for. Okay, so the question was, all of these highfalutin, well-heeled companies that are in AI now wanted to have all these foreign people come in. And Americans and MAGA supporters went to Trump and said, wait a minute, we want those jobs. We want those jobs. So he had a decision to make what was he going to do. And what he decided to do was for those H-1B visa immigrant applications, there is a $100,000 application fee.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe the notion is, well, it's not going to be put up by the person. It's going to be put up by the company. If they want an H-1B person to come in, they're going to pay the U.S. government $100,000 to start. Now, what does that mean? I don't think that Trump or any other president wanted to say, you can't hire a foreigner. You can't do that. It has to be an American. Particularly since many of the foreign educated workers are better educated than ours. We have to recognize that. We don't want to have, the second team working on these projects. So bring in the first team. If you're going to do that, the company's going to pony up some bucks. I believe that's how it's working.
Okay. Well, my thought is maybe their countries, the foreigners' countries,
Sure.
are prompting up these people. It's like in the Olympics, there was a time when the government used their professionals to play sports.
Oh, sure. Right. They actually trained, and although they call them amateurs, these athletes were getting paid salaries, free housing, the whole. Yes, I understand, but I don't think that's what this is at all. I don't think the battle is between these companies that want to make a lot of money and they want to hire the smartest and best out there, and Americans who think, well, we can do those jobs too, so you should hire us. This is kind of a compromise. It's a kind of compromise Trump is known for. If you pony up some money, you got some skin in the game.
Yeah, I'm highly skeptical of that. But let me ask you this:
Sure.
The people that are it's a statement rather than a question.
Okay.
I encourage everyone out there. No one knows who I am, but I'm hopefully take this to heart. Not to speak to these folks, because once you do, there's some American that's going to be denied a place of employment.
All right. I got you.
I'm talking, and that's my concern here. He's thinking of the big bucks, but I'm thinking of how many Americans we could put to work. That was one of the things he ran on.
Well, yeah, but let me just say this. I don't think we're talking about more than 1,000 people. I don't think we're talking about millions or 500,000 people working in AI. That in these type of jobs, I think it's a limited amount. But it's a good point, and I'm going to keep my eye on it. And we got to go right now. We got to go to a clip that we're going to show. Do we have time for the clip? All right. This is a clip. I'm going to set it up. We were talking about problems in America with immigration. This is a woman from the Netherlands. She's well-spoken. She's an advocate against wide open borders in Europe, just like Trump and me and Rusty and others are not in favor of wide open borders here. Go ahead and play the clip.
Hello, Hungary. Hello, Budapest. Hello, fellow Europeans and American friends. Thank you so much for having me. Allow me to skip formalities for a moment and dive right into a subject that is not so cheerful, but very, very necessary to discuss. Let me walk you through the past 7 days in Europe. This week in Stockholm, 3 elderly women in their 70s were stabbed in broad daylight on the streets. In London, 4 people were stabbed in a time span of just 42 hours. In Paris, hundreds of African migrants took to the street to riot. And in Brigalow, also in France, yet another church was burned down to the ground. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a few incidents in just a couple of days on our beautiful continent. But we all know that these incidents aren't incidents anymore. If there's one thing that's for sure, is that we know, and our governments also know, that there is a link between mass migration.
This new scam is spreading rapidly and emptying bank accounts in seconds. You own a
And crime. In the Dutch city of Dordrecht, something interesting happened the other day. They announced, and this is a small city in the Netherlands, in my home country, that a new asylum center will be put in that little town. And what did the municipality do? They said, we are going to offer citizens who live in the vicinity of this center 1,000 euros to take extra safety measures. Our new reality in Europe consists of frequent rapes, stabbings, killings, murders, shootings, even beheadings. But let me be clear about one thing. This did not used to happen before. This is a newly imported problem. Samuel P. Huntington predicted this over 25 years ago when he wrote, and I quote, "In the new world of mass migration, the most pervasive, important, and dangerous conflicts will not be between the social classes. They will not be between the rich and the poor. They will be between peoples belonging to different cultural entities. Tribal wars and ethnic conflicts will occur within civilizations." Well, boy, was he right. And the worst part is, we as a society seem to have become indifferent to it. When another white boy or a white girl dies at the hand of an immigrant, we might shake our head, we might let out a sigh, we might even get angry for a minute or two, and then we go on with our lives. We offer the family thoughts and prayers, but nothing ever changes. Ladies and gentlemen, what does that say about us? This is a response of a society that has already given up, a society that has already accepted its defeat. But is this true? Have we given up? Do we really accept the new reality that our globalist leaders have in mind for us? I know one thing for sure, and that is that if nothing changes, if we don't start to seriously fight for our continent, for our religion, for our people, our countries, then this time that we live in will go down in history as the time in which Western nations no longer had to get invaded by hostile armies in order to be conquered. This time will then go down in history as the period in which the invader was actively invited in by a corrupt elite. And not only did this corrupt elite invite the enemy in, they made the native population pay for it too. Everyone who has eyes.
Okay, that speech was given about 3 weeks ago in the Netherlands, and Eastern and Northern European countries and representatives and American representatives attended. I played it for you because was so articulate, and it touched the real issues that are going on. And again, there's a huge difference. And I want to make this point. I got 50 seconds until we take a break. People say, well, America, we are a nation of immigrants. Okay, and that's true. But the immigrants that came to America were not dedicated to killing and removing the people who lived here. Now, you might say the Native Americans, and you might be right. But if you think about it for more than 30 seconds, you'll realize that the initial people that came here met with them, and then struggles ensued, and then one side won and one side lost. Okay, we're going to come back after that. We got one more period, we got one more inning here, the fourth coming up. All right, and we're going to have our guest for the day, Matthew, the man of the hour, will be on our show in a break.
Look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
New Orleans' premier Halloween destination, New Orleans Nightmare, is back for another chilling season. With 2 new themed attractions, this is the Halloween experience you won't want to miss. New Orleans Nightmare is open select nights, September 20th through November 8th. Tickets are available now at www.neworleansnightmare.com.
Tired of waiting for dinner? Meet Brava, the revolutionary countertop oven that uses pure light to cook your food hotter, faster, and with incredible precision. With 3 independent cooking zones and powerful searing, Brava cooks meals 2 to 4 times faster than traditional ovens. No reheating, no guesswork. And now for a limited time, enter Chew on This at checkout and get $200 off your Brava oven. Brava, pure light, perfect food. Shop now at brava.com.
Hey, do you ever wonder who really listens to talk radio? Or even, who is this new Lisa and why are we going live with her? And what does it mean to be unscripted? Hey guys, my name is Lisa Leonardi and I am the new talk show host of Live with Lisa Unscripted. My show is about living our unique NOLA life with a touch of inappropriateness and a ton of side-splitting laughs to get you home every Monday at 4 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM.
Feel the passion.
You have to turn the energy back up on another level.
On game day,
He's got it, he breaks a tackle.
we're all raging Cajuns.
Intercepted. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Louisiana.
Join us Saturday. The Raging Cajuns rumble with Marshall.
It's unforgiving everyone.
Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Louisiana football. Only on the community voice of the Crescent City, WGSO 990 AM.
Pop quiz, New Orleans. What are the two things you're never supposed to talk about in mixed company? If you answer James Carville as an LSU fan and the genius of giving minimum age earning janitors the keys to central lockup, wrong. But if you put your I'm a proud Catholic New Orleanian thinking cap on and answered religion and politics, winner, winner, Popeye's chicken dinner. And the grand prize is I've returned to Morning Drive, where I belong, at 6 to 7 a.m. here on WGSO and simulcast on CrusadeChannel.com.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the fourth inning of the great Jack Clegg Show. And you're listening to WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello, YouTube. Okay, one of our famous callers, Mr. Matthew. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. So it's actually good news that you found out on the National Law Review.
Yes.
So I'll have to go see if I can find that and I'll share it on Gab. Of course, half the people on Gab will be like, "It's a trick, I tell you."
It's a trick. They won't believe it, right? And who is that Jack Clegg guy? He's a plant.
Obviously, you're a member. You're an agent of Mossad.
That's it. That's exactly.
Or controlled containment. But nonetheless, we proceed on in spite of the wild
accusations. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
what did you think about that young lady from the Netherlands? I thought she captured the issue perfectly.
Yes, she did. There's been lots of people capturing the issue all throughout Europe perfectly. But
Sure.
That's like the first one I heard, though. Where's that clip from?
Gosh, I don't have it in my notes. I got it online. I think I was doing research because I was looking into the fellow Robinson in England. What's his first name?
Tommy.
Bobby?
Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson. That's it. Tommy. I'm sorry. And I was doing some research onto him, and her name came up, and I decided to hear what she had to say, and boom, I got that speech. It was given sometime in the end of August, mid-August, something like that. But it was so articulate, and it captured the simplicity and the complication of this problem in England, and not only England, but all over the EU.
Yeah, Germany, and the current government of Germany looks like they're rapidly losing support to the AFD, Alternatives for Deutschland.
That's right. Yeah.
No matter how much the establishment press screams at them, you can't vote for them. They're Nazis. They're Nazis. They're Nazis.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's a strange form of Nazi when the leader of the party is a lesbian whose partner is from a foreign country. A bizarre Nazi.
That is that's a new trend in Nazism is same-sex love. That's a new trend.
Carl Jung must have had some like pencil skirts and high heels in his repertoire of Nazi uniform.
They always said he had nice legs. Most people don't read all the footnotes, but they say he had nice legs.
Well, all I know is he did design some really spiffy uniforms.
There you go. Well, you know what? Another topic. Well, we're talking about this. If this is, I know this is your time. You called in, but did you hear what they're doing in England? The current political power in England, holding on by their fingertips to their power. They proposed something this morning With go ahead.
Digital ID.
Yes. And for the folks that may be listening and aren't aware, okay, the UK extraordinarily active anti-immigrant in the current status that it's in the UK, and they don't know what to do with them. They are, I remember, and I reported this early in the summer, that of the 30 largest cities in England, 17 of them the mayors are Muslim. So the new group of immigrants in England, they know their rights. How they're voting without being citizens, I don't know. I have not found that out. But they're electing.
The system in England, whereas if you are there in country and you can prove that you're there in the United Kingdom for 5 years, you get what's called basically you get the right to remain.
Okay.
And then once you get the right to remain, you get the right to apply for citizenship, and that's about an hour and a half process of Parliament.
Okay. Well, and thanks for all that. I didn't know the specifics. But there's some explanation. It's amazing how these people are elected. And what is good, and I'm glad that these people are. When I say these people, the immigrants that come from the Muslim countries are taking advantage of the right to vote, and that's good. However, there is no defense to the problems that they're causing in the country, particularly as this young lady was explaining the crime problem. We know that many of these people hold documents that are fraudulent, that are not accurate, and so I had to laugh this morning when I heard the status quo in England says we're going to give everyone, not just immigrants, everyone is going to have a digital ID.
Oh, absolutely. It's they create a problem, and then they mandate the solution for the problem.
Which is worse than the problem was in the first place.
Right. Like, I would point out to you the line that the head of the Massachusetts gun rights said to Cam Edwards, during COVID, government searched for its limits, the limits to its power,
Yeah.
and found none.
Yeah.
Well, in the UK, they don't have a constitution per se.
Right.
Or just whoever's in charge of Parliament can write whatever laws they want to. In other words, they can sit without anybody to stop them, take the United Kingdom out of the European
Union. Yeah.
Human Rights Council.
Sure. We got 10 seconds left. You want to hold on to the next segment?
Absolutely.
All right. Folks, we'll be back in a few moments. I've got some breaks. The Jack Clegg Show. We'll be back with the fifth inning.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Crow and Crescent. Crow and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at crowandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Crow and Crescent. Let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
NHL star Matt Martin for American Humane.
I've had my fair share of bruises and injuries. But for many who put their lives on the line every day, it's not always the injuries you can see that hurt the most. Every single day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. When medications and therapy don't help, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane has created a free guide to help veterans obtain these life-saving animals. For help, please go to AmericanHumane.org.
Hey folks, it's Jeff Bruer. I've been with WGSO for 17 years as host and now president and general manager. WGSO is a community-based radio station, a nonprofit, locally operated. We believe in cultivating local talent and emphasizing local programs. If you have an interest in hosting your own program, then we have some prime spots available for you. Take advantage of this great offer. Email me at jeff@wgso.com or call me at 504-669-6076. Come fulfill your radio dreams at WGSO.
Hi, this is Susan Berniker bringing you a new show, Health Connections, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. Doctors, researchers, authors, and more. Join me Wednesdays at 5 o'clock right here on WGSO 990 AM.
Listeners weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Barr here on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Hey, this is Christian Garrett of the Christian Garrett Show. Listen to me weekdays noon to 2, only on WGSO 990.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Just a week before the deadline for Congress to pass a spending bill to keep the federal government running, Democrats stand to be the leading scapegoat for a possible shutdown. Correspondent Bernie Bennett reports.
The latest Rasmussen Reports national telephone and online survey finds that 38% of likely U.S. voters say that if there is a government shutdown, Democrats in Congress would be most likely to be blamed, while 29% think congressional Republicans would deserve the blame, and 21% believe most of the blame would belong to President Donald Trump. 12% are not sure. The survey of 1,199 U.S. likely voters is conducted on September 21st to the 23rd. The margin of sampling error was plus or minus 3 percentage points with a 95% level of confidence. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Defense ministers from several Eastern European countries are holding talks to bolster drone defenses after recent airspace violations. Correspondent Charles Philadelphia reports.
Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland have all been working on the drone war project. The EU Commission spokesman, Thomas Renier, says the list of countries participating has been expanded.
I mentioned the 7 frontline member states to that list. We have added Slovakia, we have added Ukraine, that was of course fully associated given their experience, and of course Denmark.
Jets scrambled on September 10 to shoot down a number of Russian drones that breached Polish airspace was one example, while airports in Denmark were temporarily closed this week after drones were flown nearby. I'm Charles Philadelphia.
The Transportation Department will tighten up requirements for non-citizens to get commercial driver's licenses after 3 fatal crashes this year in Florida, Texas, and Alabama that officials say were caused by immigrant truck drivers who never should have received licenses. On Wall Street, the Dow by 300 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied too. We know this from research and members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Wall Street broke its 3-day losing streak and trimmed its losses for the week. The S&P 500 rose 0.6%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 0.7, and the Nasdaq Composite gained 0.4%. All 3 indexes pulled closer to the records set at the start of the week. Stocks got some help from a report on inflation that suggested the Federal Reserve may be able to continue cutting interest rates. Such cuts would help justify high prices for stocks after their big rally. President Trump's latest tariffs caused some waves for some stocks, but not for the broad market. The Dow up 300 points today to close at 46,247. The Nasdaq gained 99 to 22,484. The S&P added 39 points to 6643. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
Couple of tropical features. None of those are going to be getting into the Gulf, but the Atlantic coast will be watching the new system likely to become Imelda. It appears to be threatening somewhere from Georgia to the Carolinas by late in the week next week. Sunshine today, will do it again tomorrow and Sunday with lower humidity now behind the front. That's going to allow lows to get cooler, middle and upper 80s for the highs. Overnight early morning lows 60s, the near 70. Ralph Sanji, WGSO. The 36th Annual Magnolia State Gem Mineral and Jewelry Show, September 27th and 28th at the Ocean Spring Civic Center. Discover dazzling gems, live jewelry demos, and fun for the kids. Win prizes, enjoy delicious gumbo, and shop unique treasures. September 27th and 28th, just $5 admission. Kids under 12 free with an adult. Don't miss it. Visit mgcgms.org for more details.
The views and opinions expressed during this show are those of the host and guests only. In no way do they represent the views, positions, or opinions expressed or implied of WGSO 990 AM or North Shore Radio Incorporated.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show. We're about to enter the fifth of our 8-inning show, and this is WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com, and you can watch the Jack Clegg Show by going to YouTube, typing it out, JACKCLEGG Show, hit the button, you can watch us. Okay, we were talking to Matthew, one of our favorite guests, and we were talking about immigration and how it's having a nightmare. The effect is a nightmare on people in Northern Europe, all throughout Europe, and we're getting all kinds of shakeups. And at the very same time that this is happening, I mean, this is a great time to be alive. If you have any interest in international or national affairs and what is the best thing for people to do at the time, this is the best time to live. So we have a continent, Europe, which is filled with illegal immigrants.
You don't use it in Discover networks. Discover falls for diners.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Matthew, you're talking on the radio with somebody?
No, it was my wife was explaining a banking issue.
Okay.
That's coming up.
Well, what I was referring to was what's going on in Europe right now is being exacerbated by Russia.
Oh yeah, they are trying their best, but also don't leave the Chinese out, for heaven's sake. I mean, they're trying their best too.
Well, and they always do, and that's fine. But the actual property, when you have a murder, you look for the murder weapon. Okay, the murder weapon, the drones, and the MiGs are being flown from Russia by Russians, and so the question now is, okay, and I'm amazed at how Trump has worked it to our advantage in America, where we're not sending billions and billions and billions of dollars of cash to the Ukraine, not knowing where it's going to go and how it's going to be spent, as had happened for the last 4 years before Trump was elected. But instead, he's letting people purchase weapons from us intended to go to Ukraine.
Oh yeah. The NATO buy food thing. Yeah,
brilliant.
That was kind of inevitable because, frankly, I think the American people have had it up to their eyeballs spending money overseas for other people to fight wars, and the cynics out on the Lotus Eater claim that the United States is developing proxies all over the world to extend its empire.
I'm not sure that's true, but I heard that, and I've also heard the most recent. I'm going to put it in the category of conspiracy theory because I just don't buy it. Is that Charlie Kirk was killed by Mossad? Have you heard that one?
That is the strangest thing. I don't. If Mossad is running around waxing everybody who's publicly critical of Israeli policy, they really do have their work cut out. I mean,
good point. Good point.
I mean, I'm going to catch it in the neck too, I guess. But.
Well, what I see there, when I heard about that, people have a beef with Israel no matter what they do, and I did a little bit of a dive into where did this come from, and Candace Owen is a very, very big proponent of this, and I like Candace Owen. I think she's pretty bright. But
I kind of have to put her to the side because she just took the crazy train off to a nowhere.
She likes to get on board the crazy train. I know that, and you know, and I don't mind being wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong, but you know, when somebody is proposing things that make no sense, I mean, it would make no sense at all for a supporter of Israel, and that's what Charlie Kirk was. You can't say he wasn't.
He may have been critical of Netanyahu. There were certain things that he criticized, and the same criticisms I have, really.
But I don't think Netanyahu. I mean, he's got his hands full with a next door neighbor that has a house of ill repute, and he's got to deal with it. Okay, so he's got his hands full, and I think anything he can get from America is great. I know that early on he was a good financial supporter of Charlie Kirk's organization. I know that happened, but I don't believe, and this is the problem with too much social media, is it lets the crazy train come in, say all aboard, and people can get on. And it takes a while for people to realize that what they're being told is just, most of it is speculation. And so you get one piece of evidence where somebody was in the same meeting as somebody else, and suddenly the speculation becomes a written contract between those two people. And that isn't the way the world works.
Well, I like to break it down to basics. One of the things is that Israel is fighting not just for its existence, but its right to exist. And I've heard various people say that, you know, Israel belongs where it is because of ancient holy books.
Sure.
And that's fine. You can believe that if you wish, but that doesn't actually mean anything, because then China has an ancient map of the world, and guess where we're standing?
Well, yeah, I mean,
territory.
And I think even Israel simply says, this is where we come from. Okay, this is where we originated, and it was thousands of years ago, and so forth. Okay, to me, that is nice. It's a nice bedtime story. But tell me what you've done for me lately is what most people in the world live by. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
in other words, we're here now. We have the military to stay here, and we intend to get rid of these people who want to push us into the Mediterranean.
well, and
It sounds like
perfect.
a more honest, brutal way of looking.
Did you hear Netanyahu's speech before the UN?
No, actually, I've been on vacation, so I haven't been catching a lot of news. Not that I hang on cable news anyway.
He was terrific, and I'm gonna cite him in a second. What was interesting is all of the UN ministers of cowardly country, that's MOCC, Minister of Cowardly Country, walked out. Many of them walked out. So to me, they forfeit their right to be in the UN. Okay?
Well, I'd like to forfeit our right to be in the UN.
Well, that's
So
another
we're
issue.
trying to-
That's another issue. But if you're going to participate, if you're going to be and not participate, you shouldn't be, and you shouldn't take American money to meet in New York City and call yourself something, because you're not. Anyway, I got 30 seconds left. We're going to come back. I'm going to hit a few other points, but I want to tell you what Bibi Netanyahu's pop quiz was.
Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show.
If you relate to these clips playing in the background, you will enjoy Everything Old is New Again right here on WGSO. Hi, this is Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Join us for the fun every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on WGSO.
Hey guys, this is Lisa Leonardi, the host of the new show Live with Lisa Unscripted every Monday at 4 p.m. drive time here on WGSO.
Tired of placing multiple calls to multiple vendors and getting the runaround? Turn to one resource who can get it done. Sir Speedy, to provide a wide spectrum of print, signs, and marketing services, all backed by more than 5 decades of experience. So when you need that new brochure, direct marketing campaign, or signage to promote your brand, give us a call at 504-586-9812 or visit us online at SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com. Everything you need, one resource, Sir Speedy.
Hi, gang. This here's Uncle Jack from Uncle Jack's Company. Heard you each and every Sunday, 5 to 5 on WGSO 990 on AM Drive Wall and WGSO.com. Join us each week as we interview musicians, writers, actors, and artists. Everyone's welcome to Uncle Jack's Gumbo. Sunday, 5 to 5 on WGSO.com and WGSO 990 on AM Drive Wall. Uncle Jack's Gumbo.
Join me, Mitch Gibbs, every Thursday at 4 p.m. live on WGSO Radio New Orleans, talking Saints football in our 16th season of In the Red Zone. We'll be live at Premier Nissan at 6636 Veterans Boulevard, where Metairie meets Canada, for another exciting season of Saints football live on WGSO Radio.
Aldi and the Blonde, Radical Radio for Radical Times, Wednesdays at 4 on WGSO. Follow us on X at Aldi Blonde.
That's not America. It's pet trendologist Charlotte Reed. Listen to the latest pet trends with benefits on the Pet Buzz, airing every Saturday at 6 p.m. Join me as I talk all things pets, from animal health and wellness, money-saving tips, the newest pet products, celebrity pet gossip, breaking news, and more. Our expert guests are in the know and in the now. To learn more about our unique program, our guests, and me, your host, listen to the show on WGSO 990, the community voice of the Crescent City.
Hello, this is David Jeremiah. Join me each weekday morning at 4:30 or 5:30 a.m. for Turning Point on the community voice of the Crescent City, WGSO.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show. We are entering the 6th inning of our 8-inning show, and we're talking about some of the changes that are going on in Europe, and in particular, we're talking about some of the changes occurring in Europe and in the Middle East. We were talking about the speech by Bibi Netanyahu, the head of Israel at this time and for the last several years, and his efforts, along with people in his political party, to stop the terrorism in the Middle East. And he's got a neighbor, Hamas, who is the worst neighbor you'd ever want to have. They teach their children in school death to America and death to Israel. Israelis don't teach that in their schools. We don't teach that in our schools in Louisiana. Death to Mississippians, death to Texans. We don't do that. But they do that there, and no one denies it. So, Matthew, we were talking to you a few moments ago.
So do we teach death to Mexicans?
No, we don't teach death to Mexicans either.
Okay, so we must teach death to Canadians, right?
No,
Oh,
we say
what do you
death.
know?
We say death to Canadian football. We don't let it get on our televisions. That's what we do.
Okay, well, at least Canadian football isn't trying to end racism.
That's
But,
true. That's true. That's true.
I did do a thought experiment. If the Metairie Indians showed up and demanded that I march myself into Lake Pontchartrain and then just keep on going till I reach Europe, would I do it? No.
No.
So if the Palestinians show up and claim that that's their land and that Israel should march themselves into the Mediterranean, why should we expect them to do it?
Well, right. That makes perfect sense. What made
My criticism of Israel is they had an atrocity occur, and it was horrible and absolutely devastating, and they hid the evidence. I mean, really, if you have an atrocity occur to you, you do not hide it and just run around saying, trust us, it was terrible. You show people how terrible it was. But for some bizarre
Well, do you
reason,
think? Do you literally think that the rise of the Palestinian movement in the United States, in the face of October 7th, is because people didn't see the beheadings or the gang rapes and all that was being done by Hamas? Do you think that's the reason?
I would say that the people who are sympathetic and fellow travelers with them is because they didn't see the evidence.
Well,
The Palestinians themselves, most of them, unless they're renegades, like the guy who Dinesh D'Souza interviewed on Wednesday and Thursday on his podcast, the Dinesh D'Souza Show, imaginatively named.
He stole my title.
I would say that the sympathy is currently with the Palestinians because you don't have to work very hard to find pictures of dead Palestinian children.
Well, and
It's almost
right.
impossible to find pictures of the victims of October
So
7th.
facing that hurdle that the almost entire world media, okay, is blaming all of this on Israel, okay? The number of hospitals that have been attacked. Never mind that the hospitals are above tunnels and hollowed out office space that has weapons, that meetings are held. Never mind that the whole idea in Gaza is to hide behind the citizenry. Never mind that. You believe it.
You can't show it.
So Bibi Netanyahu goes to New York and speaks. And he gave all the people, I think this is the most sensible approach at all. And he hit them with this fact. This is a fact. It is not an opinion. It's not, well, kind of, somewhat, maybe, sort of. No, it is factual. And no one denies it. Bibi Netanyahu's pop quiz. Which groups of people in the world, the entire world, teach children in school to shout these two phrases? Death to America, death to Israel. Now, here's the multiple choice Is it Iran,
Yes.
Hamas,
Yes.
Hezbollah, the Houthis, or E, all of the above?
Well, you've got one.
The answer is E.
Their children get to America.
The answer is E. All of those countries, all of those groups and organizations in those countries that control the country do that. Okay, so how in the world can you expect anyone to live next to that person? If the person next door to me says, death to Jack Clegg, death to people that came from Chicago and moved to New Orleans and their name is Clegg, how do you expect me to live? Well, what do you want me to move? I'm supposed to move and leave because this knucklehead is doing that? This is what this looks like. And it's not as if, and if you go back not too far, maybe 3 decades, 4 decades, we have tried to have peace in the Middle East. And I say we, America. Okay. Any success at all ever?
Well, there is the Abraham Accord.
Okay. During the Trump administration, we had multiple countries sign it. And frankly, when Trump was reelected, many of those countries want to expand the Abraham Accords. Bibi Netanyahu says he wants to expand the Abraham Accords. He says, and he said in his speech, he says, look, I don't know what you all are thinking about. As long as the current administration is in Iran, you can't do anything. The people in Iran are not happy. We in Israel have no beef with the people in Iran. We have been friendly with them since we started. But in the last several years, when they teach people death to Israel, death to America, they are being overtaken by a mindset that we cannot deal with. And you in the UN are ignoring it. And they are. He's right.
One of the problems is that one of the largest voting blocs in Iran is the Organization for Islamic State.
Sure.
The trick is to peel off some of the big players in there, and Netanyahu has got basically to do that. Now, the United States can assist him, but Netanyahu has got to do that. And the problem that they have is friendly relationships with Israel from the point of view of their population, which watches out 24/7, is that, we're the ruling junta family, whatever have you, are now making they're breaking bread with child killers.
Well, yes, it's very simple and elegant. You cannot live next to murderers. You don't do it. We don't do it. No one expects us to. No one expects anybody to do except Israel. They expect Israel to live there, and that's wrong.
There's
And
one last thing that regarding.
you got 10 seconds. Go ahead, buddy. Quick, 10 seconds.
Why did Greta Van Susteren even ask Netanyahu, "Did you kill?"
Because she's a knucklehead. She's a knucklehead. She was good at one time, but now that her head is filled with knuckles. All right. Thanks for calling in. You make the show a little bit better, buddy. We'll talk with you next week. Take a break right now, and we go. All right.
Pet Shop and Rescue is a non-profit volunteer-run rescue. We provide adoption services and care for homeless animals across the New Orleans metro area. We also offer pet supplies and grooming services at our downtown and Marion locations. The shops are located at 839 Spain Street and 513 Duane Street and are open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays and noon to 6 on Saturdays, noon to 5 on Sundays. We can be found on the web at BigEasyPetShop.com. Support local animals in need by shopping and adopting with Big Easy Animal Rescue.
This is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
Join me, Rich Gibb, on 11th season as host of Breakfast with the Bayou Big One every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 live at the Homies Po' Boys in New Orleans.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
As usual, we'll be discussing and debating the hot topics.
And taking your phone calls.
You can find out who's right. Of course, that's me.
No, wait, Jeff, I'm never wrong. Remember, happy wife, happy life.
So we'll have a lot to talk about on He Said, She Said.
Listen to the Crew of Crew Air Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Get up early on Saturdays and talk LSU athletics with us. Tiger Rag Radio every Saturday morning, 5 to 7 on WGSO, the community voice of the Crescent City. Join me, BJ Russ, every Saturday night for the Something to Say radio show on WGSO 990 AM.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Andrew Greenstein. An 80th man will spend the rest of his life behind bars after pleading guilty to killing a 35-year-old woman and her 4-year-old daughter. Daniel Callahan's attorney, Kerry Pachia, says his client is a different person than he was 15 months ago.
This is a person who now is on medication that was desperately needed at that time. This is a man who has had a stable living environment, proper nutrition, proper rest, things that he did not have at the time.
Early voting starts Saturday in the New Orleans mayoral election, and polls show it could be a runaway for Helena Moreno. UNO political science professor Ed Chervenak says the other two major candidates, Royce Duplessis and Oliver Thomas, are pulling out all the stops in portraying Moreno in a negative light.
The argument is that she's responsible for chaos that we see at City Hall, confrontation between the administration and the City Council.
Early voting runs through October 4th. Election day is October 11th. LRN.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited.
They do not give up until you pay. They put a lien on my house. How about you? Do you owe back taxes? Call Tax Solutions now and get some help. For a limited time, the IRS offers a tax forgiveness program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Our team can make it easier for you to pay back taxes, avoid tax liens, and get a fresh start. Sometimes you just need a second chance.
I call Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
At Tax Solutions Now, our affiliates are all accredited by the Better Business Bureau and members of the National Association of Tax Professionals.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now. Call 800-319-6697. 800-319-6697. 800-319-6697.
Are you looking for the perfect personalized gift for your friends and loved ones? Then look no further than Pro and Crescent. Pro and Crescent provides customizable handmade gifts, tumbler cups, and much more. All items are handmade with care and can be gift-wrapped with personalized messages. For more information, you can find us at proandcrescent.com and on Instagram. Pro and Crescent, let us show you the right gift for any occasion.
NOLA Funk Fest returns October 17th through 19th at Spanish Plaza, and this year's lineup is stacked. Master P with the Soul Rebels, Dumpster Funk plays Sly, Funky Meters 2.0, and a 50-year celebration of the Wild Chapatu list are just a few of the highlights. Tickets are on sale now, including single-day passes and Louisiana Locals discounts. Don't miss Louisiana's biggest fall music festival, NOLA Funk Fest. Visit nolafunkfest.com.
Feel the passion.
You have to turn the energy back up on another level.
On game days.
Got it, he breaks the tackle.
We're all raging Cajuns.
Intercepted. 15-10. 5. Touchdown, Louisiana.
Join us Saturday. The Raging Cajuns rumble with Marshall.
They contradict everyone.
Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Louisiana football.
Only on the community voice of Crescent City, WGSO 990 AM.
Broadcasting from deep within the Louisiana foothills, but it's spacious skies overlooking the fruited plain and smack dab in the land of the free. the American Ground Radio program with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr, where freedom grows. Listen each weeknight from 7 to 9 p.m. with Louis R. Abalone and Stephen Parr here on WGSO 990 AM.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back to the Jack Clegg Show here on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com for the audio podcast, and YouTube, the Jack Clegg Show. Hello, everyone. Hi, how you doing? Okay. We've got a couple of sections left, and our call-in number is 504-556-9696. We've had some wonderful, interesting callers. Two issues we're going to talk about today. One is what I call caller correction. We had a caller last Friday and was saying some things on air that were more accusatory toward President Trump than proven. And that's one topic we're going to talk about. The other is we're going to talk about the amendment that is currently on the ballot in Orleans Parish for our election tomorrow. We're going to talk about that. All right. With regard to the caller correction, this was a question about Jimmy Kimmel. All right. We all know what Jimmy Kimmel said. He said that he believed the person that was behind the killing of Charlie Kirk, was in MAGA, or the MAGA people were trying to hide the fact that he was a MAGA guy who killed him. Okay. No evidence at all, nothing, and just, and if it was meant to be funny, it wasn't even funny. Okay. Now, there were many, many friends of Charlie Kirk who heard that and were absolutely astounded that you could say such a dumb thing on a television broadcast. Okay. I think even President Trump at some point said that we'd have to look at his license or something of that nature. Okay. Before any of that was done, and you have to understand how television works. There are affiliates to TV stations, and in this case, it was an ABC network. Network means a lot of affiliates, and they come together as a network. But two very large networks in particular, Sinclair Broadcasting and Nexstar, Nexstar. Both of those were deluged, and this is not it. I'm not making this up. You can check it out. They were deluged by people who heard the show, and they were angry. How could he say such a thing? How could he do that? And they were angry and angry and angry. Okay. Now, so what was the response of Sinclair Broadcasting and Nexstar? Okay. At first, they wanted to fire it. That's what it actually was. We're going to fire it. We're going to fire it. Well, there's some legal possible problems, et cetera, and they suspended him. Okay, who did? Did ABC? No. These affiliates did. The affiliates, because they have the authority to do that. Why do they have the authority? Because generally affiliates are involved in a geographic location. Okay? And in this particular case, how many cities? 60. 60 cities in the United States are still boycotting Kimmel. Okay? This is owned by a local guy in New Orleans, or one of the cities in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. There's an affiliate there, whatever. Their customers didn't like this. So they said, we're preempting it. We're going to show other programs instead of his program at his time. Okay, so that's what happened. Turning that into a Trump issue is a extraordinarily obvious piece of Trump derangement syndrome. Trump may have may have persuaded all of the audiences in those areas to like Charlie Kirk, to favor what Charlie Kirk was saying, to believe that Charlie Kirk was a great guy, and that someone that would absolutely trash him and trash the people he was coming from, the more conservative side of things, they didn't like it. And those people picked up their phones, contacted the affiliate's office, and told the affiliates, no, you can't do this. At the very same time, undergirding all of that position about Kimmel was his show wasn't seen much. It wasn't being seen at all. The ratings were low. And nobody's disputing that. But what they're trying to do is think that Donald Trump did it. It's Donald Trump's fault. This is why people are ineffective. Donald Trump doesn't control all these things, guys. The minute you get it out of your head that the American people didn't like what Jimmy Kimmel said, and they had immediate contact with the affiliates. This was not Donald Trump and the affiliates. Okay, so what happened? Last Tuesday, ABC said, well, he's going back on. Okay, he went back on. Except in those affiliate areas where he's boycotted. He's still out. He's not in. So the whole idea that this, when people mislead you and try to tell you that Trump has all this power, what they're really not talking about is Trump has persuaded so many people to believe the things he believes and to believe the things Charlie Kirk believed. I'm not saying that Trump and Kirk were together on every issue. I'm not saying Kirk and Netanyahu were together on every issue. But you cannot say, well, they disagreed about this, therefore Netanyahu and his Mossad group had him killed. I read several articles about that, and I listened to Candace Owen about that, and I'm like, you can't make these leaps. They may make people tune into your show to listen more to your show. Okay? That may be why they did it. And we're going to have to wrestle with that issue with our children and our grandchildren. I have grandchildren now, and they have these things, cell phones. They all have cell phones. And that represents a lot more than it means. It represents the actual devolution of what used to be the way we got our information in America. We got our information, and I think this free speech discussion needs to be had. And smart people, much smarter than I am rather, need to establish the difference. I cited Vice President Vance when he said, you have free speech when it comes to what you talk about the government. Okay, and you do. You do. But you don't have free speech concerning employment. So let's say it was a singer, an entertainer who had a U.S. tour that was about to start out. Kirk gets shot. You go in front of a big group of people and you start saying, he deserved it, this, that, and the other, or he was killed by one of his own MAGA people, whatever you want to say that's not true. It's not the government that's going to cancel your tour. It's the people that don't buy tickets. So, and if we get to the point where the government is doing that, I'm going to join. If the government does actually do that, I'll join with you, because that's not the role of the government. You want to be a knucklehead, you want to say things that will offend people's sensibilities, then be a big boy about it. and take the heat. Okay, so and I was hoping the caller would call in the 504-556-9696, but with all due respect, I think he was just mistaken on the facts, and so many people blame Trump for things. Trump has loose lips. He says stuff that I wouldn't say. But perhaps if you just back off a bit and look at the whole city, you'll see that. Okay. Chris from California is in. Mr. Chris from California, how are you, buddy?
Good. What's happening, Jack? How are you?
I'm well. I have vision in my eyes. I can't wait to get back on the golf course in a few days when I'm released by my doctor and be able to watch the ball fly away.
You'll probably do it before you're released, I'm guessing.
Quiet. Shh, don't tell.
Yeah. What's happening there?
Well, I was about to talk about something that we're having an election coming up.
Uh-huh.
Our current mayor, who's currently indicted, along with her New Orleans Police Department bodyguard, who was her lover. But we're having an election because she's lame ducked, and election soon. I got in the mail a solicitation. If you're watching, it looks like this. It's from a group called Vote of the Experienced. It's a Louisiana organization dedicated to restoring the rights of people with convictions. And what they did was they went to the city council and they proposed a parish-wide, that's Orleans Parish, home rule charter amendment. Big deal. It's in art. It would be it. Let me read it to you. Article 2, Section 2.2026 of the Home Rule Charter of the City of New Orleans be amended to provide that no law shall arbitrarily and unreasonably discriminate against a person based on conviction history. And you vote yes or no for that. Now, the term conviction history, I think is kind of vague, to be truthful. I mean, are you talking about somebody who did something as a juvenile and 15 years later they're trying to get a job somewhere and somebody finds out about it and they say you can't have the job? I don't think that's what the intention was, but I don't know. I also know, as a practicing lawyer here in Louisiana for over 30 years, I wasn't doing specifically criminal work, but I know we have expungement rules where if you get convicted or if you get arrested or convicted, you can have the felony expunged. A judge can make that decision. There's circumstances that weigh in favor of it or against it. And so I'm just bizarre that this would come up as an amendment and simply say, no law shall arbitrarily and unreasonably discriminate against a person based on conviction history. It's kind of broad. Anyway, can you hold on a second? We're about to take our last break of the afternoon. We'll talk about this and also what's going on the West Coast. Back in a moment with the Jack Clegg Show.
Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. At times, life can feel scary, and we can get overwhelmed by anxiety. Mindfulness can help you get through these tough times. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. It's as easy to do as this. Take a big, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In and out. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace and be kind to your mind.
Get ready, food lovers. MasterChef All-Stars Live is hitting the road, bringing your favorite chefs straight from the MasterChef kitchen to Mahalia Jackson Theater in New Orleans on October 16th at 7 p.m. This brand new high-energy stage show delivers the ultimate MasterChef experience live, up close and personal. Witness epic head-to-head battles, thrilling challenges, and jaw-dropping culinary creations right before your eyes. Hear from your favorite all-stars on what it's like to cook in America's famous kitchen and toughest judges, plus tips and tricks to take to your own home kitchen. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime night of food, fun, and fierce competition. Secure your 2-for-1 tickets now at MahaliaJacksonTheater.com and get ready to go on a MasterChef culinary journey through the senses and experience the excitement.
Tired of waiting for dinner? Meet Brava, the revolutionary countertop oven that uses pure love to cook your food hotter, faster, and with incredible precision. With 3 independent cooking zones and powerful searing, Brava cooks meals 2 to 4 times faster than traditional ovens. No reheating, no guesswork. And now for a limited time, enter Chew on This at checkout and get $200 off your Brava oven. Brava, pure light, perfect food. Shop now at brava.com.
Hey, do you ever wonder who really listens to talk radio? Or even, who is this new Lisa and why are we going live with her? And what does it mean to be unscripted? Hey guys, my name is Lisa Leonardi and I am the new talk show host of Live with Lisa Unscripted. My show is about living our unique NOLA life with a touch of inappropriateness and a ton of side-splitting laughs to reach you every Monday at 4 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM.
Get ready, boys and girls, and all you flashback freaks. Here's what we promised you. It's what New Orleans loves best, oldies, but not the kind that you can dance to. It's the voices of talk radio hosts back 25 years ago when it all began. Your old commercials, newscasts, PSAs, but most of all, the voices of Larry Regan, Ed Butler, Keith Rush, Knuckle Jeff, even Drew and Jeff Coulier there. Callers back then also were the celebrities. So be sure to join us Saturdays at 11 a.m. with your booth.
All right, New Orleans, welcome back. The Jack Clegg Show. We're talking to our friend Chris Papajohn from California. Chris, so in California, does a criminal history someone have affect their ability to get employment in California? Hello? Hello, Chris?
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah. We had a technical difficulty here. In California, do people who commit felonies generally have an easier or a harder time to get employment in the state?
In state office or just
In anywhere, Bob's Meat House.
Probably.
Right, and
yeah.
That's probably something we've had in America since the country started.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you do, and I remember as a child doing something wrong, and I had a grandmother who was one of those wagglers, they point their finger and waggle at you. We loved her. She was great. She'd waggle and say, "Don't do that. It will get on your permanent record."
Sure.
Well, there wasn't a permanent record, but we thought there was. and that if that was a good enough reason to have us not do something wrong, adults did it and they said it. Okay, is she wrong because she was a liar? No, she kept you out of trouble.
Right.
And so that's what is on our ballot this coming week. Early voting, I think, is next week, next Monday or Tuesday, and it's for a week, and then the voting day. But I'm having a hard time, and I know in Louisiana, this is specific to Louisiana. If you commit a felony and you do not get another conviction, you serve your time, and 10 years passes, you can have that conviction expunged, meaning it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So the idea that you'd have a criminal history means that you have decided maybe to keep committing crimes. And the 10 years didn't pass between your last sentence being continued. So you can't get it expunged. If you had it expunged, this wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
You wouldn't have a criminal history.
Yeah.
So
I get that. I mean, if I'm an employer, I should have a right to know if somebody's a criminal.
I would think so.
You know.
I mean, just
if
imagine.
I'm running a school, I don't want to get a child molester.
That's right. That's a very simple thing. A guy asked for a job as a janitor in a school, and you think, oh yeah, he's just a janitor, no big deal. But if he has a criminal history involving sexual predation or other problems, you certainly don't want him around a lot of kids.
Right.
That makes sense.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
We have problems with, lately people getting hit by sniper fire. Why don't we use drones and AI to stop that?
I think that's a great idea.
It's certainly cheap enough to do.
Yeah.
The technology's out there.
Well, I'm thinking about the recent gentleman, I'll call him gentleman, in Dallas, right? That he was actually trying to shoot ICE officers, and by mistake, shot some of the people who were visiting the detention center.
Mm-hmm.
Family members, and I think one person that was shot, I'm not sure the person was killed or not, and they were an illegal immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it would seem to me that a city like Dallas would tomorrow, if that's not soon enough, deploy drones to look at a limited area, like you want them around a detention center where this happens. That makes sense to me.
Right.
I don't think that the government should fly drones nilly-willy anywhere they want to. I think the government needs to follow the Fourth Amendment's reasonable search and seizure. I put surveillance under that, and I think you need to go to a court and say, well, this has been an area. Here's a good one. This has been an area where there have been 150 shootings in the last year.
Well, you look at the Ryder Cup today, and they had a Secret Service sniper in the stands.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Why don't they have drones that are equipped with AI and capable of detecting people with guns? Or
I did not, and to me, if the Long Island Police Force, whoever was in charge of security, came to Judge Jack and said, "Can we get permission, authority, a warrant to keep the perimeter of this?" Of course, yes, you would. You got all kinds of people there, and they have people that want to kill people. I did not hear that happening at the Ryder Cup. Chris, I'm sorry. We got the 5 seconds left in the show. Thanks for calling. We'll talk with you later. You golfing this weekend?
Talk to you later, but maybe, yeah.
All right, good. Have a good weekend. Thanks, folks. We're going. All right, no problem.
For another chilly